Okay, so we actually got our stack loaded and everything. So now let's start making our engine. Let's make our ARGS engine, where like our command router and all that stuff. So let's get started. So first thing we want to do is, since we're going to call it a command router on how we route our commands, let's do a void, and we'll call it command router. Okay. So what we want to shove into this command router is we want to put our commands into the command router. So let's go command. We want to process the commands, and we're going to do a CMD. All right. So now let's figure out where this logic is going to go for this command router. So for the command router, let's put the logic here. And what we can do is we can piggyback off of this algorithm right here, because, well, what we can do is we can just, we have two things to this. We want the command router where we're actually pushing commands and we're getting the result out. And then we actually want something that's going to actually run our commands as well. But we can make it where everything goes into the command router. And then we, in the driver, we actually shove things into the command router. So, first thing we want to do is let's take this. We got our command router. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple if statements. So, let's say if, let's do a string compare. Do a string compare, and we're going to say add. Okay, so one of our commands might be an add or something like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to make that logic on how it should add the things that we have. All right, so let's do a compare where we take the CMD. Everything is based off the CMD name. So let's do the CMD.name. Whoops. Name. See if it's gonna pop up for me. And right here is what we want to compare to. So let's do something like add. Okay. And let's do an else if. Whoops. Guess I have to do it this way. And let's just do an else, just in case no commands, just in case that command is not found. Okay. So we want to do a sub as well, and with the string compare, we have to be able to say we're comparing the string and say if this is an identified command. Okay. So if this is an identified command and they're the same, then what we're going to do is something like this, equal to 0. And this is going to do the same thing for the else statement. So I'm going to do I will have a big if else in this whole thing. And let's do like a sub. Okay, so we got the sub right here. And let's kind of put this on another line. Let's take this, put it this way. So now we have to iterate through those arguments as well. So let's do this. Let's take the command on the outside. What we're going to do is grab the size. I'd rather grab the size on the outside instead of keep calling the size more than once. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an int, and we'll do the arg size. Arg size equal to CMD dot arg size. Okay. So now let's talk about how we're going to iterate through these commands. Okay. So we can do an iteration right here where if we're adding, what we want to do is we want to do the CMD dot. Let's do our for statement first. So we're going to do a for. We can do a while. Let's do a while. int, I think this will work, int idx, let's just do 4. Let's just do 4. Keep it stupid simple. 4 idx is equal to 0. idx is less than, let's do our less than the arc size, and then we do an idx plus plus. Okay. So then we have this right here. We might can do this a little bit better, where we're actually doing like a while statement or something like that, or we can do a if, keep doing an if statement or something like that. But I'm just gonna like kind of separate it so each logic is a little bit different and more manageable. And eventually we take these out of here and make them their own functions. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a printf, and we say something like adding, and what we'll do is let's take this right here, let's do a new line, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take, actually let's take this right here because we don't want it to continue to say adding. Let's put it up here, and then let's take the CMD args, and we're going to do something like this. So we're going to, we know right off the bat that we're going to be adding some things together. So let's do int result equal to 0. And we're going to say result plus and equal to CMD dot args. Then we take the IDX, paste it in here, and then we got one more thing we got to do. We have to do the ATIO, okay? Because we want to convert this string into a integer. All right. So then after this is done, what we wanted to do is we wanted to print the result. So after say adding, we're going to do something like this. Result oh man, I'm horrible today. Result after add action. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put here, and then what we're going to do is take result and put it here. Now right here what we're going to do is we're going to put like command not found, printf command not found, and what we'll do is let's put something like this. And then we'll put some indicator of what command. And we'll do cmd dot name. Okay. Alright. So now, after we do that, let's do our subtraction. So our subtraction will be pretty much the same. So what we're going to do is take our subtraction right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take result, and I'm going to make it global, so I won't have to keep instantiating it. And what I'm going to do is take this for statement right here. Actually, yeah, I'll take this entire for statement right here. And what I'm going to do is minus. But what we're going to do right here is a little bit differently. Alright? So we're going to say, because we don't want to subtract from 0 all the way off the bat. Okay, we want the first number. We always want the first number. Okay, so we do a if result is, well, no, if IDX is equal to 0, we're going to do this. Okay? We're going to take result, and result is going to equal to this right here. Okay? Where we take result, we take that first number, and then we take the else, and we make our else like this. Alright? So once everything is done, let's take this, and let's use it kind of like a template, and we're going to say subtracting. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take this right here, which the result will be the same, and we do something like this. So once the for loop is done, we want to go to the bottom, do something like this. After subtraction, action. Okay? So it looks something like that. So this is our actual command router. This is our engine where we route the commands as to how to process those commands. Okay. So now let's talk about actually sending those commands to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push it through the driver. And with the driver, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to go all the way to our driver. And this is going to involve our stack. So I'm going to put this right off the bat. I'm going to put this line in because I know I'm going to use it. And so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say index. I'm going to do an int index equal to 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a while statement, while this, which is the instruction stack, dot. Okay, so remember inside the others there, inside of the other, the reason why we don't use this is because it's not a pointer within this scope. In the other scopes, it's a pointer. So right here, all we do is this right here. Okay. Dot commands, and then what we want to do is do the index, and we want to do dot empty. So let's put the negation on that, and let's make sure we don't forget the most important part. The most important part is incrementing the index. So the index plus plus. Okay. So it's index plus and equal to 1, and then what we're going to do is take this, tie this off, and then we're going to actually take this command right here, and we're going to shove this command into here. Okay. And so let's see if we can give it a spin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile it. Let's see if I broke it or not. Okay, so I broke it right here, which I think this should be, it should be ATOI instead of ATIO, I think. Okay, so let's go down to, and see how I got a bad spelling right here. So let's go down to here. So right here should be ATOI. And this should be ATOI, and this right here should be ATOI. Let's see if it pops up to make sure. ATOI. Okay. And so then remember we spelled ID and X wrong. So the ID and X should be something like this, or I can just do this. Take the IDX. Since I spelled it wrong in once, well, I spelled it wrong in multiple spots, but one right here, just to fix this. This right here was a typo, and we do an ATOI right there. Okay. So let's see if that fixed it. ATOI, ATOI, and let's give it a spin. Okay, so I have quite a few issues in here. See how we have the string compare? So it looks like, let's see. Yeah, so my string compare, look like I got quite a few issues in here. So this is looking for a pointer right here, looks like. Okay. This right here is still broken, which we got IDX right here, and it should be INDX. So let's take a look at that again. I got my IDX, right here. So we have the IDX right here and the IDX right here. And then let's talk about our string compare. Let's see. So our string compare, I think I know what it is. Okay. So right here should be double quotes. Hopefully this fixes it. Yeah. Okay. And let's do this. Alright. Like we're good. And let's kind of change this up. Let's see if we get the not found. Okay, see? Command not found, command not found. Let's do a add. And let's do a sub. Oops, command not found because it is sub. I put suck instead of sub. Okay. So, we did the subtracting. Let's see, did it give us our numbers? Looked like it did not. So after the adding action, which is right here, we got result, and result, we got plus and equal to right here, which is that size, and look like we have a couple issues with the result. Let's try doing this. Let's try taking this out of here. Let's try, it could be that dot dot too, I'm not sure. So let's take this out of here too. And let's give it another try. Okay. So now, our result after adding, and these two are not working because of the result. So let's see what the problem is. So we got result out here. So let's see something. Once this for statement is done, we want to printf the result. And it seemed like result is not being, let me see something. It's, let's try doing a perfect world. Okay. So we got adding, we got subtraction. We got the ATOI, which is right here. We got result equal to. We got the CMD args, which is right here. And let's see. See, they got that new line right there, which should be fine. And so let's see, where did I go wrong? I have the result here, have result here. This right here, got my if statement, which is right here. Arg size. So the arg size, all is less than arg size. Let's do something like this where we take this and let's say we print result and see if it's getting stored in there. Args, IDX plus plus, arg size, CMD arg size there, and let's see. We got our result right here. Let's see. Action D. Just putting that D out there. Let's take a look at some things. I got that percent sign backwards. Yeah, I got it backwards. Yeah, that's why. Whoops. So let's take this out right here. It should be right here. That was a dumb move. This right here, so it was actually working. Right here. I guess I got ahead of myself. And then what I'll do is recompile. And then after I recompile, there we go. So we got our results right here. That was really, really dumb of me. And right there is how we do that rules engine. And let's do something right here. So I don't want to have to keep running that compile right there. So let's do a new file. So let's do a new, whoops. Let's do a new file. Let's call it the make file. And so in this make file, we want to compile, okay? So what I had in my make file, I'm gonna kind of make it a little simple. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the GCC equals to GCC, and I'm gonna have it print out to, it's gonna, I'm gonna have it put the drive for now the driver file. The artifact is going to go in the actual directory. So let's talk about the mechanics of a makefile. So in the makefile, what we can do is we can set a variable for GCC, which is where our binary is located. So then we have all. This is your kind of like your build or install process. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it build. We're going to do a clean, build, and test. Okay. So in order to do these steps, let's put the build out here. And the build, we'll say what it depends on. So it depends on the driver CC to be available. .cc. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually tell it how to build it. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the variable GCC, and we're going to put the driver .cc, and then our out file will be driver. This is what we expect. Okay. So then let's talk about test. Build. We got build. Let's talk about test. Okay. So in our tests, we want to run this command right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to copy it. I'm on Windows, but what I'm going to see if we can get away with just calling driver. So something like this, okay? See if I can get away with it when I run it. So let's just do a / and see if it works in Windows. We can use it in Windows, so Windows users can actually run this. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is something like that. Okay, and now let's talk about our clean. So our clean is what we're gonna do to clean up before we do a compile. Oops. All right. So what we're going to do before we do a compile is we're going to do a remove-rf. I like to use Linux commands on Windows. It works for me. And we're going to do /driver. Okay. I noticed that I never had to do this extension right here, the .exe. It'll automatically pick up that driver file. Okay. So now that we got that done, let's see if we can do a make. And see if make will run this entire thing for us. Let's take the insert off. Let's do a make. And see what happens. There we go. And right there, we just built a simple make file. And it also tests for us as well. That's the end of this video. We closed out the CLI. We made a make file. I did a video on Debian packages, But that might be some separate if I ever break down Debian packages or anything like that. Peace.